With the Madden Ultimate Team season just around the corner, it's important to find a reliable site. Introducing MUTReserve.com. Find all your coin needs there, and while you're there, make sure to use code RENDER for 15% off. What's up, guys? Running back again with another Madden video. We're not doing simulations, we're not doing rebuilds, we're not doing pack openings, well, a little bit. We are breaking down the perfect drive pack. This has been all the rage today through all the YouTubers, opening them up, talking about is it worth it, is it not worth it, what do you get as the rewards, and I just wanted to get my 2 cents in it and kind of go from a math person's perspective and break it down for you all to kind of see what are some of the best routes that you need to be taking as you're going through these perfect drive packs. So before we get into today's video, I do ask that if you enjoyed today's content, you find it interesting, consider smashing a like on the video and subscribing for new content. Let's jump into the video. All right, let's look at the price of the pack. So it's 75 footballs, and that's smack dab in between the price of an 81 ultimate kickoff player and an 83. 81s go for 45 quick sell, and 83s go for 90, I do believe. So that means that it's in between 83s sell for about 22,000. 81s go for about 11,000. So anywhere from 15,000 coins to 17,000 coins is what you're paying for this pack. Now, what happens if you start the first round and you absolutely tank? You get an 81 nat ultimate kickoff. So you're not getting the 45 footballs back. You're getting roughly 27 or 28, just cutting that football currency in half. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that you're only getting roughly 6,000 coins in return. So if it cost you 15,000, it means you're losing about 9 or 10,000 coins every time you only make it to round 1. So not a horrible loss if you make it to the bare minimum. And we'll talk about how it's pretty difficult to only make it or complete, not even complete round 1. All right, so let's open one of these packs and kind of break down the first round of what you're looking at and what are some things you can kind of eliminate immediately from this. So if we're opening up this first pack, we're given 4 different options. And once again, EA still hasn't patched this where it's multiple packs opening just to get to the one first round. So this is what you're looking at. Okay, and I think this is the generic first round every single time. So you have rush 10 yards, 90% chance of success. Pass for 20 yards, get 60% chance of success. Pass for 40, get 25% success. Pass for 80 yards and get 5% chance. Now, what I've seen in a ton of videos today are YouTubers that are saying, let's go with pass instead of run when they're the exact same yardage, okay? In science, we call these passes and rushes constants that we can almost eliminate from this whole experiment. We don't need to look at passing or rushing. It does not determine if it's a beneficial or a success when we click on this pack. So rushing and passing does not matter when picking the pack, okay? Eliminate from your decision the idea of running the ball or passing the ball. Focus only on yards and the chance of it actually succeeding, all right? Now, the next thing is the idea that they're giving you a ton of numbers in all these packs, and that's actually can be beneficial for you, or it could hurt you detrimentally to the point that you bail out on round 1 every single time. That's not really the goal, right? So let's talk a little bit about the math behind all of these packs. How I'm going to do this is I'll put the numbers on the screen for you all, but I'm going to be breaking each pack down for what's the percentage of getting 1 yard per pack, okay? What's that going to do? It's going to reduce all of these numbers to a 1 yard to percent ratio. That way we can see what pack is best, what pack is not worth doing, and maybe while one pack isn't the greatest for the first round, we might see better ones or better risk plays later on. So looking at the very first one, the Todd Gurley one, again, it's just 10 yards. It doesn't matter the rushing or the passing, but it's 10 yards, has a 90% chance of success. If we want to convert that, and you'll see this on the screen, that's 1 yard for 9%. So that means that you have a 9% chance of getting 1 yard, or for every 1 yard, you're having a 9% chance of success. That's pretty good. That means it's more than likely going to happen. It's pretty hopeful, right? This is the one that you probably should choose every single time, unless you are just being super ballsy and want to risk it for this, Brandon Ayuk, 5% chance of 80 yards. I wouldn't do it ever, unless you're just wanting to be funny and foolish for a video. Don't ever do that one. It's not worth the rate with that. We'll talk about it in a second. The next one is pass for 20 yards. Again, just 20 yards for 60% chance of success. If we want to break this down, that's 1 yard per 3%. Okay, that means that it's 1/3 the percentage that it was for this Todd Gurley one. Not beneficial in my opinion. Is it a safe one? It's better than the latter, than the Anderson and Ayuk, but it's not the best. Again, Gurley will be the best in this round. Looking at the pass to Robbie Anderson, again, 40 yards for 25% chance. If we're going to that 1 yard to percentage ratio, you're looking at 1 yard for 0.625% chance of actually getting 1 yard. Don't get confused by the fact that it's 40 yards for a quarter of a chance. That might look promising, that is a 1 in 4 chance to complete that, but in comparison to the rest of these, you're talking about almost 5 times less than the Ebron chance. Okay, you're looking at almost multiple, even 15% or 15 times less of a chance to get this than it is to that. Okay, understand that if you're looking at 1 yard per percentage point, you really need to break it down to the point where they're all in the same ratio. If you're having different denominators and different fractions, you're gonna have mixed results and not really see the clear picture. All right, so Anderson, not a great pack. Ayuk, I'm just gonna say don't do it. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it at all. It's such a low chance to get the 80 yards, and it's not worth your time. The best bet is to avoid that first round exit and go with Todd Gurley. 90% chance, which means that you will at least move on to the second round and you'll get a decent reward that will recoup pretty much most of the coins you invested in this. So let's go with this Todd Gurley. All right, we survived this round, so let's go on to the next pack. Again, it's gonna ask us to open this up a billion times. And if we're looking at this one, now we have some different percentages. So we're looking at Todd Gurley, so 10 yards, 80%. We're looking at Gordon, 20 yards, 50%. We're looking at Ebron, 10 yards, 85%. And we're looking at Anderson, 30 yards for 45% chance of success. Now, one thing that's very interesting to look at right here, okay? If you look at Gurley and you look at Ebron, which one is better? I've seen in so many YouTube videos, people are choosing based off of passing and rushing. Why does that matter? It's a constant that we can eliminate from this equation, from this decision, that makes our decision a lot easier, okay? I'm not saying that if you choose the Gurley and you win it, that means that's a better bet. But if you're going off of statistics, off of percentages, off of math, look at the percentage of success. If it's the same yardage and one has better percentage, then guess what? You choose the one with more percentage. It's just common sense. Don't get confused and deterred or swayed by the passing or rushing. This isn't an actual simulation. This is just based off of probability. So choose the higher percentage. That's a safer bet. Again, our goal isn't really to hit it big. It's to get to those later rounds that allow us to make that profit or break even. So looking at this, let's break down the percentages again. All right, looking at the Gurley, we can break this down that it's 1 yard per 8% chance of success. Pretty solid. Looking at the Ebron, it's 1 yard per 8.5% chance of success. So far, Ebron's the best. Don't choose Gurley if you're looking at Ebron or Gurley. All right, now in comparison to Gordon and Anderson, what are the better ones with this? Again, so 50% for 20 yards. All right, again, don't focus on the rushing yards. It means absolutely nothing, right? So looking at this, what does that equate to? That gives us 1 yard per 2.5% chance of that actually succeeding. If we're looking at the Anderson, all right, it's 1 yard per 1.5% chance of succeeding. So looking at all of these things, notice how in this round, it's not getting into the decimal percentages. They're starting to balance out all the different odds. That is kind of the idea they want you to push for, is to go for these safer attempts. Go for the safer 30 yards. Go for the safer 20 yards. Is it worth it? Not yet, in my opinion. I still think you should go with the 80 to 85% chances to get yourself at a higher round. That way you can ensure that you break even, or better yet, make profit off of this. So let's go with Ebron. He will be our option for this round. All right, we survived this round once again. So we started off with a 90% chance success. We got that one. We moved on to the 85% chance, and we got that one. Now we're at our own 40-yard line. This is going into round 3, which means that we should be getting a decent reward even if we back out and don't win this one. All right, now we're looking at the third round of everything, okay? Once again, we're seeing this Brandon Ayuk. We're seeing 5% for 60 yards. We're looking at Robbie Anderson, 20 yards for 50% chance. We're looking at 10 yards for 75%, and we're looking at 20 yards for 70% chance, all right? Let's break down the math for this one. All right, for this one, we're looking at Gurley first, okay? So 70% chance of success for 20 yards. Again, don't focus on the rushing. There's no point in doing so. We can condense this to 1 yard as 3.6% success. For the Ebron, we can look at it as being 1 yard for 7.5 success chance. We can go on to the Robbie Anderson. That's 1 yard for 2.5% chance. And for the Brandon Ayuk, which is definitely 100% not worth it, it's 1 yard is 0.083 repeating percent. So again, the Ayuk, it's a big play if you want to go for it, but the chance of it actually occurring is incredibly slim. Now, what do you do in this third round? At this third round, you're getting close to breaking even, so it's not horrible. But at the same time, do you want to increase the chance of you making returns on this, or are you trying to hit it big and get the top reward? If you're looking for the top reward and you're not worried about losing coins or breaking even, then go for Ayuk if you really want to. Now, you do have one more chance, so I would potentially, instead of going for the Ayuk, don't go for the Robbie Anderson, because again, if we want to look at this, it's passing for 20 yards, which is 50% chance, or rush for 20 yards, which is 70% chance of success, okay? Why do they have these two here? It's because people think that passing or rushing might be better than the other, and that's not the case. You're looking at a 20% discrepancy of success between the same amount of yards that are accumulating. So if you're looking at these two, Gurley is the no-brainer with this one. Now, if you want to be super duper safe, go after the 10 yards with Ebron. That gives you 5% increased chance of moving on. But for this one, this is the safest risk in my opinion. You get a lot of yards for a potential with a really high success rate. Almost 3 out of 4 times you'll get this. In comparison to this, you have a 50% chance, a coin flip to get the 20 yards. Why not get 20 more percent chance and go with the Gurley? All right, we made it with the Gurley. So now we're going on to the round 4, and let's see what we can do with this. It's going pretty productive so far, I must say, but this is the next round that I'm seeing here. All right, we're looking at Gurley. Rush for 10 yards, you get a guaranteed 60% chance. All right, interesting. Melvin Gordon, 10% chance at 30 rushing yards. Ebron, 75% chance at passing for 10 yards. Robbie Anderson, 20% chance of getting 40 yards. All right, breaking down once again the yard per percentage of completion or success. Gurley is just a simple 10 to 60. So you're looking at, for every 1 yard, you're having a 6% completion a 6% success rate. If you're looking at Melvin Gordon, it's a lot worse. You're looking at a 0.33 success rate, or a 0.3 success rate for every 1 yard completed. If you're looking at the Ebron, it's 7.5% chance of completion or success for 1 yard gained. And looking at Robbie Anderson, you're looking at a 0.5% success rate at getting 1 yard. Now, what's the deal with this? I do believe it's 4 rounds that you have guaranteed. So if that's the case, then this is when you have to hit it big, right? This is going into the 4th round. This is when you might want to go big. Now, for the sake of this, I'm just going to test this out and choose the best option once again with this. Now, what's the best bet? Okay, well, 10% chance at a 30-yard run. Well, that makes no sense. Why would you choose 30 yards at 10% when you can go to 40 yards for 20%? Obviously, the Melvin Gordon's not worth it whatsoever. Don't get confused by it running. Running and passing does not make a difference in this decision. Now, if you're looking at the safest bet that will move you on to the next thing, then go with the Ebron, right? That's 75% chance to get it correct. Be good, you have a completion, you can move on to the next one. If it's more than 4 that you are allowed to complete. If it's not, then go big and try to get the rest of it and win the game and go on from there. But, however, if it's not, then go with the best bet, and that's that 7.5% success for every 1 yard. That's Ebron. So what I'm going to do for this one is go with Ebron, see if we can move on. If we can't move on and that's the end of it, that's fine. We'll do another one in the next exam. All right, we made it on. So once again, we're at the opponent's 30-yard line. I believe this is going into the 5th pick, so it doesn't look like it's a guaranteed only 4 options. You keep going until you don't hit, until you don't succeed with the completion. So with that being said, let's jump into this next one on our opponent's 30-yard line. We're making very, very good progress, and it looks like we have a good shot at making our coins back, if not having a little bit of profit with this. All right, now let's looking at this. We have Gurley, 20 yards for 55% chance of success. You have Ebron, 10 yards for 60% success. Or you have Anderson, 20 yards, 50% success. Or we have Ayuk, which is 30 yards for 15% success. All right, so what do you do with this one? All right, if you're looking for the safest bet, obviously Ebron is the way to go. That's going to give you a 6% chance of success for every 1 yard. But if you're looking at between Gurley and Anderson, again, dismiss the passing and versus rushing. There is no difference. Focus only on the yards. If you do that, you can clearly see that Gurley is the better and safer pick between those two. So if you're looking at the order of the best chances for yourself, go with Ebron. He's going to move the ball still, and it's not going to be over yet. If you're going between Anderson and Gurley, Gurley has a 5% better chance of getting those 20 yards. Ayuk is if you want to go for the big ball and try to win. You're looking at very, very slim chances with Ayuk. If you're looking at it, I believe it's 0.2% chance of getting it. So, 0.2% chance for every 1 yard. So if you're looking at this, again, I would highly recommend not going with Ayuk unless you want to play big and you want to get it done quick. But in the safe bet, what do you go with? Let's go with Ebron. Actually, you know what? I'm going to play a little bit crazy, right? 55% chance with Gurley. It's 5% less for 20 more yards. I like the odds on that, and I'm going to go with Gurley and see what happens. All right, well, once again, we made it to the 10-yard line of our opponent. Very solid. That means that we're at least getting a guaranteed 83 to 88, which is profit, or it's breaking even, right? The 83 gives us, I believe, 90 footballs guaranteed, so profit right there. 15 we have gained from that, correct? Or we can hit it big and get the 88 or the 85, which is even better profit. So let's go to this last one and see what we got. All right, this is the last screen that you will probably see because either I get it or I don't, and that's just kind of the reality of it. So if we're looking at all the different ones, they're all 10 yards because you can't go any further than that. You're the 10-yard line. That's the most yardage you can gain in this situation. So at this point, they're all going to be the same initial ratios. So it's always 10 yards per a certain percentage. At this point, you just got to choose the best percentage. Is it Gurley? Is it Gordon? Is it Ebron? Is it Anderson? Look at only the percent of chance for success. It's not Gordon, and Gurley and Anderson are tied. Ebron's your best bet. It's 35%. That's more than 1/3 of a chance to get it right and to go on to the final one and claim all the rewards. So we're going to stick with math. We're going to stick with probability and rock with this Eric Ebron. And if we don't get it, we get an 83 guaranteed, which is enough for us to make profit off of. All right, and unfortunately, we didn't win the final one. We only got the 83 to 88, which is 100% okay. That's a guaranteed profit. So let's see who we get out of this 83 to 88. And we get probably an 83 Eric Ebron. Go figure. We ride and die with Ebron, and unfortunately, you get Eric Ebron out of this pack. So he quick sells for 90 footballs. That's 15 footballs profit. Again, not great profit, but if you're trying to survive the longest you possibly can, stick to the method of keeping it to 1 yard per a certain percentage of success. If you can do that, you can really focus on which option is the best. Don't get confused by the constants, by the passing and rushing. Focus on the numbers with this. If you can do that, then you can survive a lot longer in this rounds and either break even or constantly make profit off of this. So let's go one more example and I'll speed through this next one. All right, once again, we're in the first round, and Gurley is obviously the best choice at a 9% to 1 yard ratio. We'll see if we can get this. Again, it's a 90% chance, and we do excellent. Let's move on to the next round. I'm guessing it's going to be the same percentages. I don't think it changes up too drastically. We're still looking at an 8% for every 1 yard with Gurley. we're looking at decent odds. It's not great with Gordon. You're looking at 85% with Ebron for 10 yards, and you're looking at 45% chance for Anderson. Again, looking at this, don't worry about passing and rushing. It's whatever the best percentage is per 1 yard, and that's going to be not Gurley, not Gordon, not Anderson, but Ebron. All right, move on to the 40-yard line. We're guaranteed an 81 to 85. Not bad, not the best. That means that we are at least going to lose a little bit. Not a ton, but just a little bit. So now looking at this comparison once again, we have 20 yards for Gurley. We have a 75, so 7.5% chance for 1 yard of completion for Ebron. You have a 20 to 50% chance for Anderson and 5% chance for Ayuk. Again, don't go with Ayuk, don't go with Anderson. You're looking at either a very close decision between Gurley and Ebron. Are you trying to get closer to that touchdown area, or are you playing it super safe? In my opinion, I think you should rock with Gurley because it's a 5% difference for 10 extra yards. Go with that. If you really want to play safe, then go with Ebron. We'll go with Ebron here just for the difference in the video, just to keep ourselves going with this. So 75% chance. Do we get it? We do get it. So we are at the 50-yard line. We're still getting the 81 to 85 guaranteed, so you really do have to move the ball a lot, unfortunately, but it's still a pretty good chance to make your coins on return for here. So now we have different numbers. I haven't actually seen these ones before, I don't think. You have a 7% to 1 yard for Gurley. You have a decent odds for Ebron with 5% chance less for 10 more yards. You have pretty bad odds for this 45 to 30. It's not bad. It's like maybe like a 1.5, give or say 1.5% per yard for this Anderson and Ayuk. Don't worry about it. So who should you go with, Gurley or Ebron? Again, it's kind of just preference between these two guys. They're very similar. Gurley obviously is the better percentage. So we'll rock with Gurley and keep it safe. All right, with the 40-yard line of our opponent, again, going with the safe percentage every single time gives you a better guaranteed floor for your round. So we have 6% chance. We have not a good odds whatsoever with Melvin Gordon. Ebron is very, very good. He's obviously the clear favorite with this one. We'll go with Ebron. All right, now we're at the opponent's 30-yard line. We're from 81 to 88. That means that we are increasing our ceiling. We still have a low floor, but if we can get to this 20-yard line or 10, we've really increased our likelihood of breaking even. All right, looking at these, we have 20 yards for 55% chance, 10 yards for 60%, 20 for 50, and then 30 for 15. Again, you're looking at 6% per yard for Ebron. You're looking very comparable between Gurley and Anderson. But again, if you're trying to increase the floor of your earnings, go with the safest bet. Go with the 6% to 1 yard for Ebron. Even if we don't get it, it's an 81 to 88. That's a decent odds of getting an 83 and hopefully making back our profit on this. All right, we once again moved forward. Now we've increased our floor. We've made profit off of this. We got a guaranteed 83. We're at the 20-yard line. Let's see what we can get. Again, this is 2 for 2. We are making our profit off this. We're making our coins off of this. So we're looking at a 6% to 1 yard for Gurley. Not bad whatsoever. 25% for 20 yards. Not worth it. You're losing almost 35% for just 10 more yards with going for Gordon. Not worth it whatsoever. 10 yards for 50% with Ebron, not worth it. 20 yards for 15%, none of these are good except for Gurley. You go with Gurley every single time. All right, once again, we made it to our opponent's 10-yard line. Pretty straightforward with this, right? The goal is to now get the 10-yarder. Can we hit? Can we try to get this 85 to 88 potential? I'm not sure what the guaranteed is if we win, but we'll try here. All right, looking at this, you have 25% chance, 20, 35, and 25. Who are you going with? Ride or die with Ebron, the best 35% chance. We'll go with him, and we have above a 33% chance of getting this. Let's see, can we get this win? And we don't, once again, it's okay. We get a guaranteed profit off of this. So who can we get out of this? Can we get an 88? That's kind of the goal every time, right? 85 Everson Griffin, apologies. He's quick sells for 180. That means that you are making, 105 footballs off of this. So you're making at least a guaranteed 15K roughly. So not bad whatsoever, all right? So, all right, that's all I'm going to do for this breakdown video. I know it's super long, I apologize, but I hope this helped you out just a little bit with this perfect drive pack opening. I gave you 2 examples. I went 2 for 2 with breaking even or making profit off of this. Again, Disregard the non-important things like the passing or rushing. It doesn't matter whatsoever. Focus simply on the percentages and how many yards they're giving you for that percentage. Try to break it down to a 1 yard per percentage basis, and you have a pretty good idea what the best pack is every single round. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you enjoyed today's content, consider smashing the like button on the video, subscribing if you're new to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, guys.
What we do here is go back.